All right, hello and welcome to the Postgrad Year. Today we're going to be talking about Commonplace book. So, today, the first page is flying up at me. We are going to be looking at the ideas section again. That's okay. It's good to have ideas more than once, as long as I can find them. Come on. Oh, okay. Thought I actually lost them for a second. That's right, we need to go to the back of the ideas section and go forward one page, because what we're looking at is even more ideas. So the page is a little bit chunkier than normal. You can see that, well, you probably saw that some things are crossed out. And the reason for that is because they will be used in a later video within the set. And if you watched one of the other videos, you know that I try to make, 7 videos at a time. Something like that. So, oh my gosh, check this out. It's moving out of the way. I've got too many pages. So I guess I can't use my finger to point to anything anymore. So we're just gonna go through these thoughts one at a time. Still trying to get used to where my hand's supposed to be. Okay. Other channels try to make things incredibly clean in terms of audio quality, visual quality, expensive materials, and some people talk about Jesus. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Jesus to you. Sorry. Some people might get really controversial with it, like, oh, Jesus is white, just like Santa Claus, and all the people look exactly like me, and they got blue eyes, and other people might say that, Jesus was like Middle Eastern person of color murdered by keepers of the law, don't get demonetized, like, holy smokes, chill. But we're talking about information. We don't need to talk about Jesus. Commonplace books do have a lot to do with Christianity because they are European, I think. I have talked to people from other parts of the world, like Indonesia, who talk about how they know about what commonplace books are, but normally when I see this sort of thing happen, on YouTube at least, or in Wikipedia, they talk about Europe. So I think technically you can go all the way back to the Romans, maybe even earlier, because it is just a place where you store knowledge. So we could call it a different name. We could be like, it's a codex, but that's just kind of a book. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not caught up on my Wikipedia, but we don't really need to be. This is just, we're thinking. Okay? So trying to make things incredibly clean. Yeah, this is, I think some of you saw me spill water at some point. It's not always super clean. It's not always super organized. Remember, this is more of a beginner's thing. Before you use a notebook, probably use a binder, because you're probably not going to know where all this stuff's supposed to go. And it'll just be really uncomfortable. Like, how much space do I need for all these different things? Just try it in a binder one time, if you have a binder. You probably do. Probably have a binder. Anyways, other channels, oh my god. Make one commonplace video and that's it. Which is weird because it's usually one of, if not their best video, at least in terms of views. Yeah, so I've seen a lot of channels that have like 15,000 subscribers, have one video above 5,000. And it's got like 80,000 views, and it's on Commonplace Books. And then they just don't make any more videos on Commonplace Books. I just don't get it. Like, why? Why aren't you doing that? Maybe people only watch one? Like, I don't know. It could just be like they're working on something else and they happen to make a Commonplace book, and I'm like, oh, cool. That's nice. Like, I don't know. Okay. Usually make commonplace books, which is weird. Okay, other channels try to make their room and workspace look huge or tiny, and both are very tidy, which looks great, but not very realistic for most people starting out. Yeah, sorry, something is really driving my face crazy, so I'm turning pink. Just a little bit. Wow. So it might be dust. I've been doing a lot of cleaning over the last few days. Who knows? Maybe I'm allergic to binders now. That would be really unfortunate, considering I'm going to make a channel about binders. Or at least stationery. Maybe we'll have to switch to personal knowledge basis at some point. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, really huge or tiny, and both are very tidy. There's a very obvious aesthetic that goes to a lot of these, and it's normally not like a big blue wall, and I'm like, look at this, I've got children's toys up here, you know? That's not really the way it normally goes. Also, the fact that I'm pausing to be like, you know, that's not super normal either. Also, the fact that I keep looking at myself instead of you guys, very sorry for that. Lots of sorries today. Okay, let's just get through the video. Now we are going to be looking at thumbnails. Seems like people really want to, seems like people really want to see books or notebooks in the background of the thumbnail. Maybe I should try that. So, like I did say earlier, or at least in a bunch of other videos, I have like 50 of these. And I've been trying to move away from them and make everything digital because it's really cool to like build your own personal library. However, it's not exactly the easiest to store or take care of, and paper degrades, at least eventually. And you gotta take care of it and make sure it's the right temperature and don't spill anything on it, and there's just a whole bunch of other stuff involved with it, and it's kind of a pain. Like, it looks cool, it looks really cool, and it's great. I get a prop, I get to like play with it. But why? You know? Like, it's really nice to have one. You probably just, you don't want 50. And you definitely don't want 100. Like, okay. Maybe I should try that. Yeah, I could just stack them up in the back. Okay, thumbnails. I don't like thumbnails that are just hands on a page, you know, like this is right now. It feels like it's going to be a very boring video, or at least very slow paced, which is fine, but it's not really for me. And text on a bookshelf is worse. But someone holding a prop and well-placed text is quite interesting. So I think it'd be kind of fun if I could have like this as like a thumbnail, and then I could have the text up top or down below. I don't know. So, I mean, I do know that's just me trying to cover for myself. That's how it normally goes when people are saying that sort of thing. But yeah, we gotta go to use. Can be very helpful if surrounded by people who don't stop lying. It's very easy to verify things. Yeah, so if somebody tells you something, and you're like, sounds fake, but sure, I'll write it down, I'll write down the date. Tell me another lie. So, you can just write down what they're saying to you. You know, every day, every week, every month, every year. And eventually, you'll see exactly how they lie, which is quite interesting. Obviously, you probably shouldn't be writing down everything everybody else is saying. That's kind of sus. Some people might get a little angry. And, yeah, I'd get a little weirded out. Because it's weird when a company does it, but when a friend does it, it's kind of like, thank you, I'm honored, but also, what are you doing? Okay, so to try to combine all pages about video production so that I don't need to look around like crazy all the time. Yeah, I don't mean like right now, like with my eyes all over the place, but it is kind of annoying when I'm making a video and I don't know which shirt I'm supposed to wear, which reminds me, I forgot to update the video section about last shirt used. I don't know if you can see it. I don't really want to move this stuff around, but it's fourth from the bottom in the top right section, which was the most confusing way to say that, and my computer monitor just turned off a little bit ago, so now the lighting is different. It is a mess today. Okay, so now we're gonna look at page. Maybe make a standard description to put at the bottom of all the videos. Could be a page. Yeah, so I can make a video or a page about that. A more standard description, because right now I'm kind of like making a video, well, recording, and then moving that from my phone to my computer, and then when it's on my computer I double the volume, and after I double the volume I watch the video to make sure that it's okay, and at that point I just kind of take notes on it. I'm like, oh, kind of weird how I did that. I'm saying I'm stuttering, I'm rubbing my face. I go through like all the problems with it, and I also try to say all the good things. Like the fact that I seem to have figured out what sort of thumbnail I like or don't like. You know, that's kind of cool. I don't think it makes a very good description. unless you kind of want to just like glance at it to see what sort of thing's going to happen. I don't know. All right, last thing on the page, unless I skip something. So we're going to go to use. Sometimes when you write down advice you gave to other people, you can look back on it and find out that it's actually for you and about you. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's ever told someone advice before and then found out afterwards that they were actually the ones that needed the advice. So instead of writing down lies that people tell you, you could just write down advice that you give to other people and then look at the advice that you gave to other people later on. Because after like 3 months or so, it's pretty easy, at least for me, to separate my emotional attachment to the information, and I can treat it like somebody else wrote it. Because in some ways it's kind of like my past self wrote it, so it's not really me. I mean, that gets into who is the self, or what is the self, but in terms of actually taking the advice, it normally takes me about, 3+ months. So if I wait a little bit and then I come back to the information, I can actually benefit from whatever I told to someone else, as long as I wrote it down. So that's quite useful. Okay, let's just keep going. I'll see you later.